Hello, this is your cruise director, Jamie, and with me is a very special person who we have with us on board this cruise. She's an artist of world recognition and distinction, whose work is known throughout the globe, and we're very, very honored to have her with us here on the Zuiderdam. It's my pleasure to welcome Lena Sotskova. Hello, Lena.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course, welcome. I was reading about your bio, and your background is absolutely fascinating. You were discovered as a prodigy at the age of 4, right, in Moscow?
That's correct.
So, was anyone else in your family artistic?
Actually, my father can draw like Marc Chagall, that style.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't serious for him. He was doing something else.
Okay. So it was just a pastime for your father.
Exactly.
Wow. You studied with some great masters at some of the finest art schools in Russia. Yes?
That's right.
How eventually did that influence your work?
Well, I think that education is the most important thing, and I think that the gift alone is not enough at all.
Right.
Because the more you try, the more you learn, and I think you should continue it up to your, the end of your days, because there is no limit in knowledge. So basically, I was picking up little by little as long as I went with the history of art, and the more I knew about artists, the more I saw. That probably helped me develop my own style along the way.
Of course.
Growing up in the Soviet Union, you learn a lot about everything.
The schools you were going to were run by the state, yes?
Absolutely.
Yes, so they were forcing you that you had to do all those different varieties of arts.
They made it interesting.
Very well put. Very well put. You certainly acquired some remarkable accolades, the Leonardo da Vinci Award and the International Human Rights Award, plus many others. How would you say that has affected or advanced your career?
Well, I live in my head. I don't know anything about my career, to be honest with you. I think about art all the time. Sometimes I look out and my eyes wander. That's how people know that I'm painting in my head again.
Wow. Wow, you are a true artist then, because you can't really focus on the actual business side of it. It's all about the art for you.
Exactly.
Wow, and now you only create a limited number of pieces each year, correct?
Yes, yes.
Well, like between under 10, you would say?
Between 4 and 10, yes, I will say that.
So how much time
sometimes less than that.
How much time do you spend on each piece individually?
Enormous amount, but sometimes when I'm losing emotional connection with the piece, I rather put it aside and start something new. But I'm working constantly, and I have working constantly on my sketches, so I have a lot of sketches. And when I'm finally ready to pursue that particular piece, I will pull it back and I put it on the easel and I start painting again. And that emotional connection is just there. And it's easier to finish that piece when you connect with that.
Wow. So do you find, do you only work in paints? Is that your only medium, or do you do other?
I do everything that close to arts, so every single media and every single technique I can do.
You do a lot of bodywork, figurines. I mean, do you find you get emotionally attached to the people you're drawing?
It's kind of writing a novel. You have this idea in your head and you just need to get to it, get to the end of it. Sometimes your personages, they start playing different roles. In the book, I mean, the same thing happens on canvas also. Wow.
Wow, that's beautifully put. Where do you see your work going? I mean, do you find you go through periods? Like most artists, they have great periods in their lives. Do you have the same thing?
I think so. I think that it's absolutely normal. Life is moving, times are changing, clothes are changing. Why not art?
Exactly. Where do you find you're at right now? You're in a good place right now with your work.
Yes, I am.
Lena, I loved getting just to have this little quick moment to get to know you and a little bit more about your work. It's fascinating. I can't wait to learn more.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. And you all can now have a chance to go discover her work as well and find exactly the right piece of art for you. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful cruise.
We're going to be doing an art seminar. We're going to be talking a little bit about art history. You're going to hear a little bit about Renoir, Chagall, the past masters, but you're also going to hear a little bit about the modern masters, our living treasures, which will be Lena Sotskova, and you're going to see a lot of her artwork. Then we're going to have a preview, and two, of course, of our trio here. Maybe we're going to sneak you up there if we can somehow. They're going to be playing at the art auction tomorrow, as well as getting you guys registered. They're part of the auction process as well. And then we're going to do an actual live auction. So I really hope you're all going to come. Really special today, ladies and gentlemen. I've cruised 500 times, and in 2 times that I've cruised, I've had someone of this caliber on board. We in fact have an internationally renowned artist on board. One of course, the Russian treasures. Her name is Lena Sotskova. She's going to be in, yeah, big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, coming to cruise on this ship. And you're going to have an opportunity, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, maybe 80, 90 years ago, getting a hand-signed Chagall or meeting Chagall. Well, this is sort of your modern opportunity. You're going to be able to meet Lena Sotskova at the auction today, absolutely free of charge. It's not always just straight to canvas for an empty canvas. They'll do a lot of work prior to producing the final image. And we have the unique opportunity of, in fact, having some of the study works from Lena Sotskova on board. And we're very, very pleased, because when you're looking at originals, they're selling somewhere around $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. You saw Chagall an edition of 500. You're looking at an edition, tiny edition of 95, so under 100. 95 people in the entire world have the opportunity to collect this work of art right here. By the number 172. Now I'm going to move on to this work where the artist has embellished each work of art. So you might see an image that looks similar to this, well under 1,000, 375, but each one bears an individual style of painting. You can definitely, as you get closer, see the actual texture and the embellishment of the artwork. So when it says edition to work, it's a little bit deceiving, because what you really have to understand is you are actually getting a painted work from the artist. So every one of them absolutely unique. The masterwork probably selling somewhere around, again, that $15,000 to $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 range. That one at the opening bid, what a steal. Let them go to bidder number 172. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for bidder number 172. In the canvas, you don't see it, of course, in the front of the canvas, but typically you're going to look for the brighter spot in the image, and what you're going to see in the artwork is, it should be somewhere right down here. There we go. You're going to see this indentured into the artwork. So you're going to know 100% absolutely that you're getting that work of art. You'll see, of course, the sort of registration number, and that, of course, is certified by the artist. It's not done through an outside source or another company. So you're getting perfect integrity on the purchases of your artwork, knowing exactly what happens. Isn't that incredible? You don't really see that very often, do you? That, of course, a little blind stamp. They call it either a watermark or a blind stamp. Of course, Rembrandt did something similar in his artwork. He used the up-on paper, and it had a little watermark, and that's one way of authenticating his works. This is the way that you would authenticate your Sotskova. And we're going to let that, they're going to hammer the gavel. To bidder number 132. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for bidder number 132. And ladies and gentlemen, here's an opportunity. Like I said, when you're purchasing Lena Sotskova works, you're getting typically in the open market $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for the embellished works. The masterworks, they are so hard to find. In fact, right now, pretty much we have immediately one available, and here you can actually, this is just a rendition, a small rendition in the bottom here, but we're going to actually be able to provide you JPEGs a little later on. This is what you want to get on the top here. You have the opportunity to collect the original work at $28,000. Later on, we do not have it on board. Since they are so rare, the Lena Sotskova originals, they stay in cold storage where they are kept, of course, safe and sound. And so naturally, we're going to start off on the auction block lower than $28,000. But here's, again, an opportunity. I have a Rembrandt. I love it. It's a beautiful piece, but it's posthumous. It's been pressed. It was an edition of 10,000, and then I found out there was another 10,000, and then another 10,000. So even sometimes, you know, someone that's been in the art world for 15, 20 years, they sometimes have a hard time figuring out, you know, what to buy, what not to buy. So that's what you want to see. You want to see perfect provenance, and you know you're getting it when you have Lena and Sergei on board. Everyone's got their personal favorites. This, by far and away, is my personal favorite of the works that we have on board for a few different reasons. It's mostly for me because of the color composition in it. It's just so vibrant. It really, really reminds me of that transition in the art world when Matisse shocked everyone with the painting of a nude. It was a still life, a figurative work of art. And if you go to an art history class, they don't talk about that figure. They don't talk about the nude. They talk about the cloth that she's lying on, because it's yellow. It's an undaunted yellow. It's a primary yellow. And you're seeing that in, of course, this work from Lena. Now, why do artists not like to use yellow or a primary yellow? Because it's very difficult to use primary yellow and create a realistic image. Only artists that have really good at quality expert training are able to exploit that technique. And so when I look at this work, not only is it just beautiful when I look at it, but knowing something about art, I understand the challenge that Sotskova had in producing the image, because it looks so fluid, it looks so natural, but our understanding of color composition definitely is exuded in this work of art right here. And here we have, of course, another work of art from a series. She did a series called Inspiration. This is number 4. 1, 2, 3, sold out, to the best of my knowledge. This is going to be sold out very shortly, so this is another unique opportunity. Get yourselves one of these little black lights. It's definitely an interesting conversation piece when you show people that. It's just pretty brilliant how they managed to do that. Alright, and here we have, and any of you that have tagged any of the Lenas, the Sotskova works, this is not the best lighting where you're sitting. This is great lighting from where I'm standing. But you can't really truly appreciate the work until you actually get a couple feet away and see the layers and textures in the actual art. It almost has a sculpting kind of quality to it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Bidder number 132. I'm going to hammer the gavel right away because you stuck it in there. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for bidder number 132. For Lena Sotskova, you're going to be paying somewhere up around that $50,000 for a master work. Lena produces possibly in a year. In the past, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 works of art in an entire year. Why so few? Well, of course, you have to wait for inspiration. Certain artists, they can paint by numbers, they can produce editions, they can produce a whole bunch. Certain artists, they wait for inspiration, and they only wait for inspiration. Only will they produce their masterwork through that process. And Lena's like that. She's uncompromising. What I really want to get across is what you're looking at here. It's the new level of collectability. You're looking at embellished works. Any of the Sotskova works that you see coming up here on canvas are actually works that are painted from the artist. The brush stroke is right in there. And from where I'm standing, you can see the levels of texture in the artwork. So no work is exactly the same. Oh, to bidder number 109. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for bidder number 109. When you look at embellished works from other artists, you're not going to see the similarity that you're going to see in this work as far as the amount of work involved. Now, typically speaking, when you see an embellished work, you're going to see a brush stroke here or a brush stroke there, and then a flatter image. But here, when you look at the actual work, you see the entire work has been reworked. Each one, I'd be hard-pressed to see another 3 or 4 or 5 that come from this tradition that would look any, or even somewhat similar, especially when you look in the hair. For anyone, whoever tagged this, I want you to come and look at it afterwards, off the side, and see the texture that I can see. Bidder number 109. Now going to move on to next the auction buck we have. Bidder number 132. Now going to move on to next the auction buck we have.